Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cognito Key. So glad to have you here. Today, we're going to unlock an idea that's, well, it's pretty much behind every single shopping decision you've ever made.
Yep, it's a huge principle in economics, but it's one that works quietly in the background. You know, every time you're out shopping or hunting for a good deal. To really get what I'm talking about, let me ask you something super simple.
I mean, of course you would, right? Who wouldn't? Whether we're talking about your favorite chocolate, that one coffee you love, or maybe those shoes you've been staring at online for weeks. That feeling, that little voice in your head that just screams, yes, when you see a price drop, that's exactly what we're digging into today.
So you should know this reaction, it isn't just you. It's not some personal quirk. It's actually a super predictable pattern in how we all behave. In fact, it's so consistent, so universal, that economists gave it a proper name and have built whole theories on it.
And here it is, the law of demand. Now, the key phrase you really got to remember is inverse relationship. I know, it sounds a bit technical, but trust me, it's simple. All it means is that price and the amount we want to buy, well, they move in opposite directions.
Let's break that down. Think of it like a seesaw. When the price of something goes up, we usually want less of it, right? But when that price comes down, suddenly we're much more interested in buying more. It's this simple back and forth balance that's at the very heart of this law.
Okay, so that's the idea. But how do we actually see this pattern? Well, economists have a handy little tool for this, and it's called a demand schedule. It's basically just a simple table that puts some real numbers to our shopping habits. Let's take a look.
Okay, check this out. This table shows the law perfectly. Let's say we're talking about wheat, and the prices are in rupees. Look, when wheat is 14 rupees a kilo, a family might buy, say, 3 kilos. But watch this. The price drops by just 1 rupee to 13. And boom, the amount they want jumps up to 4 kilos. See? It's a perfect step-by-step example of the law playing out. Now, a table with numbers is great, it's very clear, but you know what can be even more powerful? A picture. So what we can do is take all those numbers from the schedule, plot them on a graph, and create something called a demand curve. And the really important thing to get here is that this curve, it's not telling us anything new. It's just showing us the exact same relationship from the table, but visually. It lets you see the whole pattern in a single glance. It just clicks.
And this is where you can really see that inverse relationship we talked about. See how the curve slopes downwards from left to right? That downward slope, that's basically the signature look of the law of demand. As the price goes down, the quantity we want goes up. Simple as that.
Okay, so there's a little bit of fine print we need to talk about. For this law to work so perfectly, like in our examples, economists have to make a few assumptions. They basically have to pretend to hit a pause button on everything else in the world and assume that only the price is changing. And when you think about it, this makes total sense, right? Like, imagine you suddenly got a big raise at work. You might buy more of your favorite stuff, even if the price went up. Or what if another brand has a huge sale? That would definitely affect your choice. So to really focus on just the effect of price, we have to assume that all that other stuff, it's staying the same. All right, so we've gone through the definition, we've looked at the schedule, we've seen the curve. What's the one big takeaway here? Let's boil it all down to the most important part. This quote really sums it up perfectly. It all comes down to this, an inverse relationship. Higher price means lower demand. Lower price means higher demand. If you just remember that simple, powerful idea, then you've absolutely unlocked the key to the law of demand. But that leaves us with a really interesting question to think about. We've seen how powerful price is, for sure. But in the real world, things are never that simple, are they? Our incomes change, new trends pop up, our tastes evolve. It just goes to show you that while this law is a super important key, it's really just one piece of the giant, fascinating puzzle of why we buy what we buy. And there you have it. That's the law of demand, all wrapped up. I really hope you enjoyed unlocking this concept with us today. If you want to keep unlocking more of these big ideas, please do subscribe to Cognito Key. And hey, don't forget to like and share this with anyone you know who loves to learn new things. Thanks so much for joining me.